Welcome to another 3D Friday. Oh yeah, number 4 or 5 or whatever number it is. It's exciting because, yeah, we're still doing it and I'm loving it. It's great. But anyway, enough about that. Welcome to 3D Friday. Today, I've got quite an exciting one, really, for you, I think, if you know what I mean. Now, if you've been following me or not, I don't know if I can't really remember if I've spoken about it or not. So if not, then get ready for some news. I'm airsofting now, tons, again, like, you know, it's kind of public knowledge now. But I've also been designing and making lots of my own kind of like gadgetry and stuff to help me on the field and give me a bit of a tactical advantage. Because, you know, don't fight when you don't have the advantage. That's the saying, isn't it? Yep, that's the saying. So what I've been doing is I've been making my own stuff to hopefully give me a tactical advantage. And then I'm going to make it for saleable for you guys, all of you lovely people out there. So if you want to buy it and have a tactical advantage, you're going to be completely able to. Now, what have I been making to give me a tactical advantage this week? A couple of things. 2 things in particular. The first thing I'm going to go through, because it's probably the less exciting of the 2, but still watch it anyway because it's quite interesting. It's still a little bit in pieces from the previous video that I've just filmed, but I use a little red dot sight when I do my my airsofting, and you may remember in the gameplay video that went live the other week where this happened.
Cam, stop!
Yeah, my own team was shooting me. Haven't forgotten about that, Cam, by the way, you dick. But the reason why he was shooting me was because he said he could see a red light. And where did the red light come from? The red light came from my red dot sight here. And that kind of got me thinking, well, if my teammate can see me and then shoots at me, Cam, then the enemy is probably going to be able to see it and shoots at me too. Now, what can I do to solve this? I want to use my red dot sight because, you know, I really enjoy it, and like going back to like iron sights would be like a really, really painful thing to do. So what else is there? And then I got reminded from my sniper days about little honeycomb scope kind of snoop things, and I was like, that's a cool idea. And instead of looking to see if they already exist, I went ahead and I designed one, which you can see here. So this is the one that I designed. Essentially, it's got a ring of these little balls on there. It's got honeycomb mesh down there, and that's kind of it. And the whole design of it is so you can just put this, you know, put this part here over the sight. I've measured it to my red dot sight, so hopefully there's some kind of like universality to them all. But yeah, you essentially just put that over your red dot sight, and you're away. You know, you're good to go, because the angles here, say for example, look, if you're looking straight on, you'll be able to see the red dot sight. But if you're standing at this angle, you won't be able to see the red because of these all here. However, if I take the honeycomb away, like so, oh my god, like so, you can still see that red light. Isn't that clever? And then it's still angle down. So it's only about here when you're kind of side on where you won't be able to see the light at all. And to be fair, you're probably not going to be in that many combat situations where somebody's going to see the light from here. But from all these angles, you completely are. But with the honeycomb mesh, you have to be right in front of the guy in order to see it. And if you're right in front of the guy, you're gonna get shot. So that's why I designed it. And what does it look like? Well, here's one I made earlier. As you can see, this is actually the second one I made. The first one was a bit naff. But as you can see, yeah, we've got the honeycomb there in the middle. A nice kind of like round ring about it. And yeah, I printed it kind of quite quickly, so it's not the prettiest it could be. So I'm going to try and do prettier ones. But all you do with it, and I'm going to tweak the design a little bit because part of it didn't work as I wanted to. You just literally clip it on like that. Boom. So it does add like a little bit of extra length to your red dot sight. One cool thing though is its extra protection. So I do have my little plastic shieldy thing here. However, now I've got that on there, I've got extra protection if BBs were to hit it. And look at that. If I look down the sight, sure, like if you're focusing on the honeycomb, then you see the honeycomb. But when you're using your red dot sight, you've got both of your eyes open. So you don't actually see the honeycomb when you're focusing on your target. It actually works really, really well. I was so surprised at that. I was very happy with it. I'm going to try and make it so you can look and see. Again, it may not be as the best kind of example in the world. Oh my God. There we are. And look, see that? So the red dot still works perfectly fine. Little bit of honeycomb in there that you can see. But I would say it doesn't impact my effect, my ability to aim at all. And actually, yeah, I'm well chuffed with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refine the design a little bit. I'm going to make it like that is already like super snug on there. Like I'm well happy with that. But I'm going to refine the design a tiny bit. And then, yeah, you'll be able to find that on my eBay store, my Etsy store, lots of other places. So if you want to pick up yourself a red dot sight honeycomb mesh thing, yeah, I'm your dude. Right, honeycomb mesh bit out of the way. Let's get to the juicy bit of the video. Now, one thing that I've grown to love is pyro. I love blowing things up. I love being able to, use kind of those devices to get that tactical advantage over the enemy. If I need to go, into a corridor, into a room, push up, flank something, I can use a grenade and clear out like a ton of people relatively safely. Now, BFGs, I've known about for quite a while, and I've not really been too keen on them, too interested, but I took the plunge. I bought myself a Dynatex Dominator, and I must admit, I've been very impressed, and I've been using the hell out of it. But I want to make it better. I want to make using it an easier experience, So what have I done? Well, first of all, I made something. Well, I have made like a few things. I found that being in the field, sometimes I don't have time to, get another primer, get it into the top of it, screw it up. It can be a little bit of a faff. So what could I do to make that easier and smarter? Well, with this grenade, the place you put the primer in is this little doohickey. So it's like all fully metal. You take your primer, you put it in the end there in that hole, you screw it in, you take your pin out, and then when it hits the floor, bang, and the enemy is gone. The only downside to that is these are quite expensive. And you don't really want to kind of like lose them. And these don't actually retain the primer. So you put the primer in there, you turn it upside down, it's gone. But what if there was a way to have a, semi-reusable kind of cap like that, that you could put primers in and they'll just stay in there. And then all you need to do is grab another one, screw it in, and then you're all good to go. Swap them out, that kind of thing. Well, that's what I've done. And it's quite cool. So coming back in here, this thing is what I was talking about. So this is a, it's essentially just like I've measured out the one that came with the grenade, put in all the dimensions, and I've made this. So essentially what this is it's the primer cap, but I've put some dimples on the inside. What they do is they actually hold a primer in place. So just like this one here, if you have a little look at that, there's a primer in there and it doesn't come out. And that's just going to sit in there until I use it. How cool is that? So what my grand plan is, essentially I could have like these all just like in a pocket, and then I can run around, and when I'm ready to go, just, screw it in like that. And then that is all ready to go. Pop the pin out, drop it on the floor, and then we're set. And then once it's used up, take it out, put it in like, I don't know, dump pouch or something like that. Grab another one out that's already got a primer in, and then use it. And then, depending on how well these work, you can then, get back to the safe zone after the game, take your pin, and poke the primer out of the container for it, put a fresh primer in, and then you're good to go. And then you don't have to worry about, putting it in and all those little bits on the battlefield where, your main focus needs to be the enemy. But how well does it work? Well, I don't really know. So let's go and test it outside quickly. Hey up, how's it going? I'm just testing the grenade. Okay, and test in 3, 2, 1. Test complete. I'd say it was a mixed bag, to be honest. It was very loud. I think my cap probably made it louder, but unfortunately, it didn't really survive as well as I'd hoped. It kind of blew the entire top of it off. Sadly, more research and testing is going to need to be done. It was definitely louder than it was beforehand. So whatever I've made has certainly increased the volume. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to tweak the design a little bit as well to try and help dissipate the energy. Like at the minute, with it being like the tube, it's quite a tight bore. But if I made it like a cone shape, so the charge is here, I made it like a cone shape coming out, that may help to disperse that energy a bit and keep that intact. Along with doing this, printing this with 100% infill, that'll probably help keep it being stronger too. I think at the minute it's only got 10%, and this is a shotgun primer, so probably not the best idea there. Yeah. So this video has been filled with, I'd say, success and also some not so much success on kind of both accounts. But you know, we live, we learn, we get better, and we improve. And yeah, I'm going to do some tweaks now to these models. I'm going to tweak the honeycomb one, remove those little bally bits, do another print of that, and then hopefully that will be a nice finished piece ready to go. And then yeah, if you want to check it out, you'll be able to find them on eBay. I'll put a link in the description for you to see those there, and I'll set up some other shoppy bits too. So yeah, if you're an avid airsofter and you like what you see, then you can pick them up for yourself. And also, if there's anything in particular you would like, let me know, and I'm happy to design it up if I can do. And yeah, hook you up, son. So until next time, look after yourselves, be safe. I really need to use more iPro when I do stuff like that. I mean, that could have been really, really bad.